Y'all, I'm not expecting anybody tonight because it's about midnight. Over on the East Coast, I'm not sure what time it is. I don't know. It might be going on about 1 o'clock in the morning. So what I'm doing here is my mother's birthday, heavenly birthday. She will be 79 today. I just came home from a wonderful time with the family. My father, my brothers, my sisters. And so it's just a couple of us here tonight. The rest of y'all are watching it in the morning. My mother loved this song here. She just loved singing about Jesus and how much she was in love with him. Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus. Voice is tired. Falling in love with Jesus was the best thing I had ever done. In his arms, I feel protected. In his arms, never disconnected. In his arms, I feel protected. No place I rather be. No place I rather be. There's no place I rather be. There's no place I'd rather be. There's no place I'd rather be. Yes, sir. There's no place I'd rather be. There's no place I'd rather be. Yeah. My mother loved my piano playing for some reason, not sure why. My middle name is DeBerry, capital Deberry. A lot of people don't know that. They just hear Sirwalterj. Sometimes they say, a whole bunch of other names. I'm not going to tell y'all what it is, and then y'all start using it. But my mother called me a few names. Her favorite name for me was All Two. All Two. When I heard that name, I knew it was Mom. She called me that because my brother Rodney, when he was a little kid, he didn't know how to say Walter, so he said All Two, and it stuck. So for 50-something years, my mother would say All Two, and I answered only to her through that name. My mother's maiden name is DeBerry. It's supposed to be French. There's not too many black DeBerrys out there. I hated the name. I actually wanted to change the name. I couldn't stand it. It was a silly name, and people teased me about it. But as I got older, I realized the importance of the name, and then I decided to keep the name because of the attachment and the history behind the name. So Walter DeBerry is now I'm proud of it, even though you don't really hear it that much. It's kind of difficult to put it in the promotional package. No place I'd rather be. Ooh. soap opera day. My mother liked all them soap operas. It would just be me at the house. See, I have 9 brothers and sisters. It's a lot of us, all right? And it was just me, though. I was the last one at home. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Bass.
It's the show that will get you thinking, and where the topics are hot. Feel free to comment whether we agree or not, 'cause he's got something to say. Sirwalterj Jones. Sirwalterj Jones. He's got something to say. Sirwalterj Jones. Sirwalterj Jones Show.
Come on in. The water's fine. Do. Talk about the Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm here. It is the evening, really late evening edition, baby. We used to do that, y'all. This before we updated our shows. We used to go live at 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Y'all remember this? Some of you people who've been with me for a few years. We would be up praying all night for those people who were caught in the tunnel in that cave. Remember that? And we was up all night praying for those people. And then the Lord released them and rescued them out of that thing. Remember that? We was all night. This is what we used to do, y'all. So the faithful few, Raymond Beelan, his birthday was Sunday, 75 years old. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, because I didn't get you last year. And happy birthday to you, my dear brother. He's a dear brother of ours, of the Bunker family. His birthday just happened to be the same day. I think Jimmy Carter's birthday. You and Jimmy Carter shares the same birthday. If maybe one day apart, maybe the same day, I can't remember. But let's thank God for the life, the legacy of both our dear brother Raymond and Jimmy Carter. I think my favorite president, living or dead. He's my favorite president for some reason. Well, I know why, but it's not that show. All right, we're gonna keep praying for him and his wonderful wife, because Jimmy Carter's days are indeed numbered. They're numbered, and so America needs to get ready. They need to get ready to mourn. So yeah, the early morning edition. Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I should have opened it up that way. Today, we are going to play some songs. Some of you already seen some of my shows. I want to start off with Days of Our Lives. My mother would be at home drinking Coca-Cola, okay? And she would be there with her little funny 70s outfits. I don't know the names of these outfits, y'all. Y'all know what I just don't know the names of them. I just remember my 5th grade teacher had this thing. I think they call it the gaucho. Is that what they call it? What's that thing? It's got the back out. Okay. Now, all the back is out. All that stuff. My mother was trying to be jazzy and trying to be sexy for her man. But she only wore that in the house. She didn't wear it outside. My father wouldn't allow it. So my mother was trying to be jazzy for her man. I thought it was kind of cute. Okay. Halter top, is that what it's called? The actress said a halter top. My mama was trying. And he came home every night. My father came home every single night to that woman. He was enamored by my mama. And for almost 60 years, he came home. Amen. Until she went to heaven. So there she is drinking Coca-Cola, not RC Cola. It was the RC Cola on the back porch, and I was listening to these theme songs, not realizing that one day I'd be capturing them on piano. Okay. I did such a great job on these two soap opera songs, theme songs, that YouTube thought I was playing the actual recording, and they put a thing on my YouTube, not a strike, but what they call it something else, because they thought that I was actually borrowing. I was using the actual recording, but I had captured it so well that the computers were confused. Yeah, gauchos are short. Yeah, that's what she had. The short, wide leg breeches. My mama had the gauchos. So here it is. So was the hours. What is it called, y'all? These are the days of our lives. Right here, played by yours truly. See you in a minute. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. One of my favorite songs there. And I would listen to it over and over again. When I heard the theme song coming on, I knew which one it was. Because then she had about 4 of her favorites. This one and another, the next one I'm going to play was her favorites. And at the time, I couldn't play anything. And this song, by the way, Jackie, it's not in F. It kind of jumps around, but it's in C. So it can throw you off F, and then it goes into B flat. It's a very beautiful song. Okay, and it reminds me of some of the theme songs of. That sounds like a theme song from Star Wars. Okay, you're gonna hear a few things in that melody there. I thought it was quite beautiful. These songs, I didn't realize these theme songs, TV theme songs, actually taught me how to play. My mother introduced me to a lot of music. You know, y'all see some of my tape collection that I would bring up in my shows. Burt Bacharach was one of my favorite writers of that time. Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboys, songs like that, and of course the cowboy of what is his name with the glasses, Denver. What's his name? Is it John Denver? All right, those mountain songs. A lot of those songs, you know, they just had meaning to them. They had an overture. They had a prelude. They had an interlude. They had verses and bridges and vamps and what have you. It gave you a plethora of emotion in the music, and that's why I play the way I do now, because my mother introduced me to a lot of the songs that were not church, because church just gave us that simple bluesy sound. For those of you who are Pentecostals, you know, we would hear, don't let the devil ride. Don't let the devil ride. If you let him ride, he'll want to drive. Don't let him ride. Don't. Okay, yeah. That is what I come up under. It was all blues, it was jazz. But to us, that was traditional gospel music. There was no variations of orchestration that I could do with that. Me and the devil had a tussle, but I won. Me and the devil had a tussle, but I won. Me and the devil disagree. I don't like him. He sure don't like me. But me and the devil had a tussle, but I won. That ain't nothing but blues. And this is the stuff that come from my father and Thomas A. Dorsey. They rode the train together from the Delta, from Mississippi, on the Illinois Central train to the north during the northern flight of the black flight from the south to the north. And Thomas Dorsey would have his guitar on the train, and my father would borrow it, and they both would be playing all the way to Chicago, you know. And it was just exciting to know that story. I didn't even know that was happening until I got older, and I met Thomas Dorsey right before he died, and sang in his choir as he was singing directing the song Precious Lord, not knowing that there was a connection that this man had with my father. So the music that I was listening to coming up in the churches was an influence. My father was influenced by Dorsey's sound, bluesy sound. And in walked the Elvis Presley story, the Jerry Lee Lewis story, okay? And this new movie with the Elvis Presley movie, they actually finally did something right by telling the story of how Elvis borrowed from the guitar players like my father. Okay, and so my mother introduced me to the outside world that I thought I didn't know existed. She became a part of the tape club, the Columbia Tape Club. And I don't know, see if I can find it. Here it is. Out of nowhere, I just found it. Burt Bacharach, okay, right there. Yeah, this is the original tape from my mommy, okay, and this is the last one left. The rest of them I lost, what have you. And I would listen to Burt Bacharach and these guys and how they would structure their songs. And I was blown away, which helped me to write the couple thousand songs that I have written based off of that sound that I heard from what's called the singer-songwriter of the 1970s. This next song here is her other favorite soap opera, but it was my favorite based off of the theme. Now, what I do with this theme song is I've then structured what I heard from orchestra music that she also introduced me to. That orchestra, classical music, that is, she would play in while she's sweeping up and vacuuming and what have you. And we didn't really have a vacuum; we had to do the broom. You know, we broomed our dirt. She would play that these melodies on the Zenith. We had a Zenith console. It was a big screen, a big TV, and then on the left side was the phonograph. On the right side was the AM, FM, and the 8-track cassette tape that you put in there. Y'all remember them big consoles? Okay, we had a Zenith. My mother and grandmother had a Magnavox upstairs. Okay, they had Quasars and Westinghouses. Of course, they didn't just make refrigerators. Okay, and we would listen to that old time radio, and then she would turn on the classical music, and then it got into my head, and that's why I played the way I do, because I heard that through in the house. I had never was introduced to that, obviously, from my Pentecostal upbringing. That was a sin to listen to. Okay, Roger said Quasar in the house. All right, so this one is The Young and the Restless. I played it to the T. YouTube computers thought that I was actually playing The Young and the Restless from another channel or something like that, and they were like, "Hey, bro, you can't use that." No, I'm playing this. But what I did was I put an interlude in there to lengthen the song a little bit more, because it just seemed like the song should not have ended there. All right, more memories of my mother, the soap opera edition. The Young and the Restless. Now, some of you might recognize the middle of that. Mm-hmm. And Jackie caught it. Moonlight Sonata. There it is. And we were introduced to those particular songs through cartoons. What is his name? Avery, Tex Avery cartoons, Bugs Bunny and MGM, Tom and Jerry. African Americans didn't know classical music, but we enjoyed television and the classics of the cartoons. And what they would do is they would put the classicals in the cartoons, and that's how we got introduced to these popular Bach and all of these wonderful musicians. All right, and so hence that's why you heard. You know, you can go all day with that. And that little waltzy thingy right there, you can make 100 songs just off of that melody. It's just easy to take a classical rhythm like that, or what they call meter, and you could just start creating stuff. And that's what these theme songs did for me. Yeah, Beatrice. That's where I too fell in love with classical music. Kill the rabbit, dun 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 dun. Okay, stuff like that. Tunes. What's it called? Something tunes. All right. Merry melodies. They put that in the cartoons, and that's how we were able to do that. So when someone like Richard Smallwood came on the scene, and Thomas Woodfield, and meshed the two sounds together. All right, with the Looney Tunes. Yeah, thank you, Looney Tunes. When they meshed the two sounds together, I thought, wow, I'm in love. I believe they came up like I did, where they too had mothers who introduced them to this music, and they were able to then bring that classical sound over into gospel. And then when I heard Richard Smallwood with his melodies, I thought, oh, wow. Because when you listen to Total Praise, at the very intro, straight classical, he borrowed it. There's one tune, Lord, you know. Oh man, I don't want to go. I think I'm gonna do a Richard Smallwood show, because he would literally take classical songs that was written in the 1700s, 1800s, and he would put lyric form to it, and then he would put a little twist on it. And you didn't know if you didn't know classical music. So when I would hear his music from the 80s, which was the heyday, I thought, wow, I know where he got that from. And of course, Thomas Woodfield, just in case you've forgotten my name. I mean, I was listening to, people like Joe Sample, and Oscar Peterson and Herbie Hancock, when they would do these, funny chords. When I heard Vanessa Bell Armstrong come out with Master, the tempest is raging, I said, whoa. Now, I know who originated that song, but when she came on the scene in the 80s and redid it, and you heard that sound, I said, whoa, who was that playing? And then I got introduced to the brilliance of Thomas Woodfield. All right. And I says, I'm in love. I'm in love. Yeah, Ruth. Yeah, there you go. Chopin, Bach, and Beethoven. Okay. And so when she did I have a faith that can move unmovable. When I heard that, I said, I'm going to learn to play the piano. And my mother was there every step of the way. She made sure that I had enough money to buy a Casio piano. Let me see. Now, I don't have the Casio, but this is the closest I can find. This is a controller. The Casio was much smaller than this. The Casio was maybe about from here to here. It didn't play chords, but it cost me about $70. All right, and all you could do is one finger at the time. All right, and it played melodies, and that's how I learned how to play the piano on the Casio keyboard. And this was in the early '80s, 1982, when I first got that thing, and it was a cute little thing, but it helped me. It taught me, theory of music and how to make melodies. And then my brothers had a boombox in the house, and I was able to we would buy these Memorex tapes. Of course, we couldn't afford Memorex, so we would get those cheaper tapes. Can y'all put in the comment section what was the cheap cassette tapes back then? I see the name. All right, they were so cheap. If you played it too many times, it would rip and tear, and you'd have to take a screwdriver and some scissors and painstakingly repair it. And so I knew how to record and then take another boombox and then act like I had a recording studio or 8-track. Anyway, hard to describe. Okay. So, but my mother was in love with my growth and my prodigy, and she would make sure that my father invested in my music career. She made sure that $70 was yeah, it sure was in the 1980s. And you talking about how many paper routes I had to do to get that money? Okay. All right, and then here I am, Maxwell. Yeah, Maxwell. Maxwell's too was expensive. Yeah, Maxwell. No, Tobias, I need another one. I mean the cheap ones. We couldn't afford Memorex or Maxwell. What was it, Maxwell? BA. All right, you coming down just a little bit more. BASF. All right, was a little bit above this other. Oh, I know what it is. I see it in my head. TDK. No, that was too expensive. And I'm gonna show y'all a picture of it. I see it in my head. I'm putting it in Google Sphere. I want to see if somebody got it. Nope, not TDK. Those were cheap too, but not as cheap as these. But I'm getting ready to show y'all. Radio Shack brand, Belinda. Yeah. There it is. I found it. I sure found it. I want to see if somebody gonna give it to me. I want to know before I show it to y'all. I want to see if somebody gonna put it in the comment section because I found it. Anybody? I need one more comment to see. One more. It was the cheapest brand on the market. Fuji was pretty cheap, yes. Jerome. Fuji was pretty cheap, but I'm getting ready to show y'all the cheapest tape on the market. Y'all ready? Okay, the $3 tape. Here it is. Bam. Good old Tone Master. Anybody remember Tone Master? I'm trying to get it to there it is. Tone Master was the cheapest tape on the market. And it lasted a few plays. And after that, it was over for you. And you see the price, 59 cents. You never heard of them? Y'all wasn't a part of. See, some of y'all, your mom and your father worked. Y'all had money. We was on public aid. Okay. So we went down to Montgomery Ward, and we picked up the Tone Master, 59 cents. Mm-hmm. Wow, you people never heard of Tone Masters. Yeah, y'all was wealthy. Y'all come from a very. I come from a poor family. Didn't have much, but the Lord been good to me. He been good to me. He been good. Yeah, man, Tone Master was the way to go. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I'll play the ending song, the song for my mother that me and my daughter Rebecca wrote, and I'm gonna go to bed. That was back when the boys made them love song mixtapes, yep, and try to woo the girls. Trust me, it worked for me. I wrote a lot of songs for my girlfriend, whole lot of them. Mm-hmm. Tobias, what's going on with Richard Smallwood? Yeah, we heard about Wonder Boy Johnson as well, Nikki. So sad. These. Listen, y'all. Our lives are but vapors. We're here today and we're gone today. Pray for Patricia Vincent, says her lost brother last week. Lost her brother last week, and we're gonna pray for Patricia. All right, people are leaving here. They are definitely leaving here. So we thank God for those of you who are still here. You have breath and life, vitality. Continue to pray for those whose loved ones are gone, so they might be encouraged in the Lord. I want to thank y'all for standing up with me. It's about almost 1:30 over there in the East Coast. So this is like good old days, y'all remember? We would do this. So thank y'all. For the memory of my mother, Evelyn Jones. We're going to continue this throughout the week. Tomorrow, I'm going to have my nephew to do a rendition of his song, Galaxy. We'll do it, I don't know, sometime tomorrow. Before, I don't know, maybe late night or it might be before late night. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Lil Lawrence going to play the guitar for me, okay? And we'll do this all week long. This is called Sir's Musical Moments. All right? Not very long. I'm actually done. Okay? He's been sick for a minute and is now in a wheelchair. We'll send you some pictures. Gosh. Yeah, man. I tell you. These greats. My heart really broke when Andre Crouch left here. Because I never got a chance to meet the man. Never got a chance to meet him. And it hurt me because I was planning on going to see him. I was going to take a trip, just take a flight and just go see him and just sit with him. And never got that opportunity. So that definitely was a lesson to me. When I was a child, I learned a lot of secular music sitting on the floor in front of the upright radio. I could play anything. Wow, Jackie, I would love to hear you play. My daughter and her husband will have a little baby boy. All right, born tomorrow. Praise God. New life, Savannah. In the midst of death comes life. We were burying my mother on December the 7th, 2019. It was the day my daughter, her birthday was that day. And while we were enjoying the fellowship with the saints after the funeral, my grandson was coming out. So while we were mourning over the death of my mother and burying her, the Lord was blessing me with a new grandson. Amir was discovering America. So Savannah, amen. In the midst of death comes life. But with my mother, we may see it as death, but really Paul says we should not all sleep. My mother just went to sleep. All right. And because she went to sleep in the Lord, I will see her again. And oh, what a fellowship. Oh, what a fellowship. Oh, what a fellowship divine. Now, God God, thank you for your presence and those who were here, those who stayed up with me all night long, and those who are going to watch this in the morning. Thank you for their presence and the memories of their loved ones as well. Keep them safe. Those down in Florida, we're still praying for them, that you touch their lives. Keep them safe, oh God, and they restore all of the things that the water took away, the wind took away, everything that they owned, oh God. Look upon those, especially those saints who were there in the great state of Florida. And those who don't know you, oh God, let this be a warning sign that their lives too are yet but a vapor. Oh yeah. Rest well, y'all. This is a song for my mommy. All right. It's called Song for Evelyn. And we'll see you tomorrow. Midday Connection, we'll talk about once saved, always saved, and settle this fight that we've settled year after year. Because we got new listeners, we have to do it again. So can I fall from grace? And can I lose my salvation? We'll do that tomorrow around maybe 2 o'clock in the p.m. All right? Yeah, continue to fight. And then we'll get back to some good music. I love y'all. Thank you for standing up with me. Take care.